In 1945, Korea was liberated from Japanese rule, only to be divided at the 38th parallel by Soviet and American forces. This arbitrary line, meant as a temporary administrative boundary, hardened into a Cold War front line by 1948, creating two hostile states, Communist North Korea under Kim Il-sung and pro-Western South Korea led by Syngman Rhee. By 1950, Korea became a proxy battleground. Kim Il-sung, backed by Stalin and Mao, sought to unify the peninsula by force. Meanwhile, the US saw South Korea as a bulwark against communism. When North Korea massed troops along the border, the stage was set for the first hot war of the Cold War era. At dawn, North Korean artillery shattered the peace. Over 135,000 troops surged across the 38th parallel, catching South Korea and the US off guard. Within days, Seoul fell. The UN Security Council, boycotted by the USSR, authorized military intervention, marking the war's internationalization. By August 1950, UN and South Korean forces were cornered in a tiny pocket around Pusan. Outnumbered and under relentless attack, they held the line through sheer desperation. This brutal stand bought time for General MacArthur to plan a daring counterstroke, one that would change the war's course. On September 15, 1950, UN forces launched an amphibious assault at Inchon, a port with treacherous tides dismissed as impossible by North Korea. The gamble succeeded spectacularly. Cut off from supplies, North Korean troops collapsed, and UN forces recaptured Seoul within weeks. But victory bred overconfidence. As UN forces pushed toward the Chinese border at the Yalu River, Mao Zedong issued stark warnings. Ignoring them, MacArthur assured troops they'd be home by Christmas. Then, in November 1950, 300,000 Chinese soldiers struck. UN forces faced freezing temperatures, encirclement, and the longest retreat in US military history. By mid-1951, the front stabilized near the 38th parallel, where the war began. Brutal trench warfare reminiscent of WWI ensued, with battles like Porkchop Hill costing thousands of lives for negligible gains. Peace talks began, but fighting continued for 2 more years as negotiations stalled over prisoner repatriation. Civilians bore the war's worst horrors. US bombing reduced North Korea's cities to rubble, while atrocities like the No-Gun Massacre underscored the war's brutality. Yet global attention waned as Korea became just another Cold War frontline, overshadowed by nuclear threats and European crises. On July 27, 1953, an armistice was signed at Panmunjom. The DMZ became a fortified no-man's land, but no peace treaty followed. Korea remained divided, families permanently separated. The US called it a police action. Koreans knew it as a national tragedy that never truly concluded. The Korean War set Cold War templates: proxy conflicts, nuclear brinkmanship, and limited wars. It solidified US military commitments in Asia and cemented Korea's division. Today, with tensions persisting and veterans aging, remembering this war is vital, not just for history, but for understanding the fragile peace we now call normal.